that I can't really get past is his dismissiveness of the rapes that happened. He acts like they didn't happen.
I mean, he doesn't believe the rapes happened. It's not even debatable.
I have never denied the possibility of rape occurring on October 7. You will never be able to find an instance where I have actually denied rapes happening on October 7. As a matter of fact, I said it is highly likely that rapes occurred on October 7. Talking about honesty, do you want to retract your false statements on the Israeli rapes? On the Israeli rapes? What false statements have I made about the Israeli rapes? What are you talking about? The pro-rape riots that the Israeli far-right conducted, saying that they never happened? No, they did. What do you mean? 8 Israeli concentration camp guards of Sde Taman were slated to be prosecuted by the Israeli state for crimes including but not limited to raping a Palestinian prisoner to death. Israeli society caught wind of it, got very upset, and did a January 6 style armed mass pro-rape riot. The primary responsible party went on Israeli national television with a balaclava and explained how he has a right to rape Palestinians. Then he took his balaclava off and he became a famous Israeli television personality. Is that what you're talking about? Did you know that this happened? Or are you completely oblivious to this reality? Yeah. Maybe you are also oblivious to the reality that an Israeli emergency Knesset session took place where a member of Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud party, a Knesset member from Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud party, openly argued that Israeli prison guards should be able to rape Palestinian prisoners. That's precisely what happened. Now, were you familiar with that or not? Because your unfamiliarity with that I have never denied, by the way, is perhaps the reason why you're also unfamiliar with my commentary on the mass rape, systematic rape charges that were unsubstantiated on October 7th.
Following dogma before facts, all the way to the fucking end of the game. Okay? And Hasan, once again, contributing to this atmosphere of disgusting rape denial, which again, something that over the last 10 years, we've agreed is a terrible thing. We've all said, believe victims, support women, but apparently when they're Israeli civilians, they're lying. He decides that I'm...
Can I add, Ethan, one
yes.
personal feeling that I've had with Hasan that I can't really get past is his dismissiveness of the rapes that happened. He acts like they didn't happen. Acting like rapes didn't happen, and he's just chuckles when people bring it up, or like...
Kamala Harris said the rapes, and then he laughed, and basically his chat started saying that they're all lying, and he kind of like expressed, he doesn't believe the rapes happened. It's not even debatable.
Mm-hmm.
I have never denied the possibility of rape occurring on October 7. You will never be able to find an instance where I have actually denied rapes happening on October 7. As a matter of fact, I said it is highly likely that rapes occurred on October 7. As I've said time and time again, sexual violence has a very high likelihood in occurring in war or in situations like October 7. Absolutely. So the likelihood that sexual violence occurred on October 7 is high. However, systematic, conducted, and pushed forward by Hamas was, in my opinion, an erroneous claim. A claim that there is no, as it stands, no evidence for whatsoever. So I want to understand what the UN saw that leads them to this conclusion, and if it is different from the New York Times Screams Without Words article that was picked apart deliberately and expertly by The Intercept. Having said that, however, the only substantiated rape report comes from the UN Commission report that was not a sexual assault that occurred on October 7, but rather a sexual assault that occurred in captivity to an Israeli citizen. This is the only substantiated primary account of sexual assault happening to an Israeli citizen in the hands of a Palestinian. Not only have I never denied that rapes might have occurred, I have always said that there is a high likelihood that rapes did occur. As of now, given the unfortunate reality that Zaka, highly controversial group, and the Israeli government completely fucked up any kind of real investigation from occurring into sexual assault on October 7, that there are victims out there that will most likely never know the truth. But once again, considering that you are unfamiliar with, I suspect, the pro-rape riots that occurred in Israel not that long ago, is actually new reporting from Israeli publications came out literally last week on this matter. I suspect that you are completely oblivious to a lot of things. How is Zaka controversial? Here, I'll give you an example of this from, I think it was Haaretz's reporting. You were super vocal about this early on too. It's all on your old videos. Yeah, I know. Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I get it. Everyone is like horny to say things are out of control, which they are. And there's so much violence already. So I don't know why a lot of the media can't just stick to, 250 concert goers were massacred on camera. That in and of itself is already incredibly brutal. Okay. That's horrifying. Why do you have to move away from that and be like, and there's also mass rape gangs going around, especially without substantiating it. You know what I mean? Because listen to me. Listen, is it likely? Is it possible? Certainly it is. It is absolutely fucking possible. Okay. These sorts of things do happen, but I do not understand how our supposedly objective media, which we know is never objective anyway, can't stick to the actual facts of the matter and have to like beef up the narrative. It's already fucked up. It's already bad. Maybe the chatter is really high. No, I think that there's a lot of chatters that are coming in here with a false interest just to try to get a clip, hoping that I slip up or say something that they can package in a way that comes across like I'm being cynical or in a way that comes across like I'm being dismissive. That's all it is. Israel forbade doctors from speaking to UN group investigating the October 7 atrocities as well. A separate commission was sent to Israel in which Israel, 1, denied the terms of inquiry as, first, not an investigation, just information gathering on sexual violence, pretty much in a vacuum. 2, determined who the UN officials got to speak with: the president of Israel, Israeli ministries, IDF, the Israeli Shin Bet, the Israeli National Police, the Shura military base, the morgue, and Israeli National Center for Forensic Medicine. The result was Premier Patton's UN report. An excellent analysis of the report has been produced by Feminist Solidarity Network for Palestine and published by Mondo Weiss. Times of Israel reporting also on the Israeli restrictions on the UN group trying to conduct an actual investigation into the matter. This is also part of the problem with vibes-based hallucinations and analysis rather than like actually paying attention to what I have said. Yeah, the Zaka Times of Israel reported on it. Haaretz reported on it. In terms of like the Haaretz investigation reveals cases of negligence and the spreading of misinformation by the Zaka volunteer group, which began collecting bodies in the devastated communities in southern Israel immediately after the Hamas attack. Death and donations. Did the Israeli volunteer group handling the dead of October 7 exploit its role? The Zaka volunteer group began collecting bodies in the devastated communities of southern Israel after the Hamas attack, while the IDF sideline soldiers trained to retrieve remains. An investigation reveals cases of negligence, misinformation, and a fundraising campaign that used the dead as props. They spent time, I remember some of the fucking details. Zaka spent time literally taking bodies out of fucking body bags and putting them into Zaka body bags. That's what they were doing with the fucking time. Police said suspect Zaka officials hushed reports of founders' alleged crimes. Members of emergency services organization to be questioned by investigators. This is like a previous reporting on Zaka from before. Can't believe we've had all this info on how and who to spread misinformation for so long and it still gets spread around like it's true, because it does not matter. If I remember correctly, your position was that rape couldn't have wasn't that rape couldn't have happened. It was that it wasn't systemic or as reported. Yes. I said that there is a likelihood that rape did occur. It's just that New York Times' screams without words reporting on the matter did not meet the New York Times' own journalistic standards. Yeah. You literally got into arguments with people saying, I'm not going to claim zero rapes happened. That's fucking stupid. Yes. I did. The systemic rape charges would have to be substantiated at the ICC. They won't be able to rely on heresy. Yeah, that's the other aspect of this as well. And as far as I understand, there's only one instance of like firsthand accounts, and the idea or hearsay. Okay, well, regardless, there's the idea that this is like top down directed beyond like the New York Times reporting Screams Without Violence, which was like which was literally criticized by a shit ton of academics and journalists for the horrible way in which they conducted themselves throughout that supposed piece of investigative reporting. It's beyond that. They need like substantive evidence, right? And having said that, there could be there probably is more evidence on multiple sexual assaults. This is a common occurrence in times of conflict in general. However, to direct it back to like some kind of command structure where they are like purposely saying like, yeah, rape them, like mass rapes committed in the name of resistance or whatever, is going to need a shit ton more evidence to substantiate a claim such as that one. And I don't think they have it, but you know, what do I know? I am not bald, nor am I heading the ICC. Just like I spent a decent amount of fucking time since early October of 2023 in the beginning phases of this genocide, where I featured heavily the perspective of Jewish people in America, the perspective of anti-Zionist Jews, the perspective of Israeli society, and routinely offered coverage to the humanity of every side in this equation. And of course, the victims, the toll is taken upon the normal citizens. I am not going to be one of those people that says like, oh, they're settlers. They deserve the violence. They deserve, getting shot in the streets. No, nobody deserves that. That is precisely the reason why I always criticize Israel. Obviously, nobody deserves that. And yet people still make it seem as though I did not do that when I did it every single day. There are very few people on this planet that have such a clear accounting of all of the things that they have said every single fucking day. Every single day. I am one of the very few people that has been live almost every single fucking day since October 8th. So I can directly point to a moment where I've done the exact opposite of the thing that people are claiming that I did. You have the opportunity to seek this information out yourself. You have the opportunity to look at my commentary from back then with today's eyes. You can look back at it. It's on my YouTube page. VODs are also directly on YouTube and elsewhere. If you are truly curious about the truth of what my opinion is on any particular issue, 10th of October. I mean?
Because listen to me. Listen, is it likely? Is it possible? Certainly. It is. It is absolutely fucking possible. These sorts of things do happen. But I do not understand. How our supposedly objective media, which we know is never objective anyway, can't stick to the actual facts of the matter and have to like beef up the narrative.
That's on fucking October 10. That's the VOD from October 10. Why seek something out when they can get a bunch of PowerPoint clip chips talking points with these subreddit fed them directly either from the source or via Ethan? Yeah. After watching one video of yours, I realized that there's no hope for humanity given the preconceptions that I had about you due to the common narrative about you. Yeah, but what matters in the situation is that you watched a video and you were like, okay, everything I heard about you is fucking wrong. If you had that capacity to change your attitude, then there are plenty of other people who have that capacity as well. That's what I believe in. That's what I hope for. That's the only thing I can hope for. Don't take this the wrong way, but why you care about Palestinians? You are not even an Arab. Why you care too much about Palestinians? You are not even an Arab. I mean, why do I care about women not being able to get fucking access to reproductive rights? I'm not a woman. Why do I care about trans people getting fucking legislated out of existence? I'm not a trans person. Why do I care about black people being disproportionately targeted by police brutality? I'm not a black person. Why do I care about the working class? I have now actually accrued enough financial success that like I don't ever have to fucking worry. I can just vote for either party I want to and be comfortable for the rest of my fucking life. Why do I care about the working class? Why do I want people to have fucking health care? I can pay for my own because it is antithetical to my worldview. It's like, you know, it's silly. It's empathy, I think. And I also personally believe, legitimately, genuinely believe that if we are to elevate every single person, if we are to truly evolve as a society beyond the current constraints that capitalism has brought upon us, everyone will prosper. Everyone will thrive. We will be in a better position overall. That's it. That's where this comes from. I personally believe that, for example, if we had a more fair and more just process in this country in terms of economic redistribution, everyone would be better off. I don't think this is like naive idealism either, by the way. I think this is just true. And I hope more people see it that way as well. Anyway, I see something that is like horrifyingly wrong. I think genocide is completely unacceptable and it's horrific. And it's wrong. I see my tax dollars going to fund and facilitate this genocide. Of course, I'm going to speak out about it. How do you deal with this every day and aren't miserable genuinely? I've already answered this a million times over. I get a tremendous amount of emotional fulfillment from being able to change people's minds. If I can get one person who is, again, transphobic to not be transphobic, if I can get one person who is racist to not be racist, if I can get one person to recognize that Israel is an apartheid state and that is unconscionable, then that's good. If I can motivate one person to go out and run for local office, if I can motivate one person to go out and unionize their workplace, as many of you have, then I'm happy. It does not matter. I'm a profoundly privileged person. I'm living in fucking West Hollywood. I could take care of my entire family. My family's here right now in my house. It would be disgraceful, if not disgusting, if I didn't use all of the profound amount of privilege that I have to advocate for those who are voiceless.